Hey there and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. It's so good to have you. It's Natasha from Crafting Extreme Love, and today I'm here with a memory planning process video for you using some of the new digitals from Citrus Twist's latest collection called Handcrafted. Now, I formatted the journal cards to fit into my planner pages, and I used Silhouette Studio, which is a free software. Even if you do not have the Silhouette, you don't need to have Photoshop to do this. So I think that's a really approachable way, as I know many of us, like myself included, have the desire to learn Photoshop, but it's a little tricky. So these are 2 inches wide, these columns. So I formatted these boxes at 2 inches wide and at varying lengths. Once I get my layout going here, you'll see why. So once you just create those boxes, you drag and drop the files. They're in a PNG format, and then you're able to get these boxes, which is super fun, and I can't wait to see how this turns out. And then I have the cut apart sheet, which I dragged and dropped the different elements here into, once again, Silhouette. I do have Silhouette program, Silhouette Studio. I do have a Silhouette, so I did go ahead and cut these via the software onto some photo paper here that I used for my ephemera pieces. So I'm going to be using these throughout my layout today, and I just dragged and dropped what I needed. If you do not have a electronic cutter like this Cricut or the Silhouette, not to worry. They do also come with a PDF, so if you are a fussy cutting type of gal, Citrus Twist has you covered. So all of the products that I'll be using for today's process video will be in the description box below. If you have any questions for me on the products or the process, please feel free to leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able to. I was a little lazy and I didn't feel like running this through my Silhouette, so I'm just going to cut these with my paper cutter. And this is also just a good example to show you that if you do not have a Silhouette, you don't need to worry, because you can print it out just like this. And when you're in the program, you can line it up exactly. So you'll see here that I lined it up in a way that it's not going to, it aligns perfectly with each other. So it's really, really easy to cut these down to the desired size, which is awesome. Now that my digital elements are all cut and ready to go, I also have pulled some of the other physical products. So the handcrafted kit, there's the digitals. So you'll get journal cards, the TN papers, plus the embellishment extras here. And then there are physical products that accompany the digital. So you can get just the digitals in the shop, or there's the physical products as well. So there's the Puffy Stickers, there's these cardstock word stickers, then there's also, which I have over here, this very messy and dirty organizer, but they also have actual printed ephemera pieces as well. So I am going to be using primarily the handcrafted kit, but there's also an exclusive kit right now called Happy Hearts for Halloween, a little early for Valentine's Day. So I've pulled some of the papers. I'm going to be doing, if you haven't kind of noticed here, I'm going to be doing a bit of a rainbow theme throughout my weekly layout. So I wanted to show to an opportunity how you can use a kit. Like both of these are really heavily themed. Like this is very much about, you know, crafting and different hobbies. This is obviously about Valentine's Day. So you can incorporate these kits in a weekly documenting format. So you'll see that today, how I can blend these different elements together. Now, last but definitely not least, are my photos. So I actually have a lot of photos. This I'm probably going to do in a separate layout. We had our 1 week of winter here in Florida, so that is all about the cold. And then I've got these photos here as well. I use the Pick Frame app and the Canon Selfie to print my photos. The Pick Frame app gets you these really small photos, and then you can also manipulate the sizes like I've done here. Okay, so we talked about our supplies. I am using the Cocoa Daisy planner as my memory planner. I'm going to be using the vertical layout this week. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and put you guys on fast forward. First, I am arranging my reformatted digital journal cards into rainbow order. I have a nice ebb and flow so that there's some movement to my layout. I've actually going to be scrap lifting myself in this layout. I have done a similar style in the past. I know for sure I have a process video on one of them, which I'll be sure to link in the cards and the description box below, but I definitely really enjoy this style. When starting off with memory planning, if there is a style that you really like or that you're drawn to, be sure to go to it. You know, there's no reason why you can't repeat a design that you like or that you feel comfortable with. Now I have my photos cut out and I have them arranged on the page. Next up, I will be pairing my photos with some of the digital and physical cardstock ephemera pieces from the shop. As I mentioned in the intro of this video, this is a weekly memory planning spread or something like a project life. It's a weekly documenting, whereas these two kits are very theme based. They're all about crafting and hobbies. So what I'm doing is when I'm going through these pieces, I'm selecting the pieces that are more general, that could apply to a variety of everyday moments. So Love Without Measure, this could definitely be used for a layout all about sewing, but here I'm going to pair it with some photos of my girls getting all cute on the couch there. So it totally works in that application as well. So I definitely encourage you to look through those pieces, see what resonates with you, and when you're doing something like this, tone on tone, it really gives you a lens in when you're looking through your ephemera. I think I hear a lot of folks when they're starting off with memory planning that it's overwhelming and they're not sure where to start or how do I pair this with that. Go with color. It's something that always speaks to me first, but if it's pink, you're going to find something that's pink that matches it. If it's blue, you're going to find something that's blue to match it. And that giving yourself those guidelines is going to make this so much more easy and enjoyable, and you're not overthinking small decisions when it comes to your memory planning. Outside of using the ephemera to pair that tone on tone, I also recommend using pattern papers. I used a variety of the Stamp Market pattern papers that are in the Happy Hearts mini kit that is currently in the shop right now to back my photos. So if you see the two photos on the bottom left corner there, I've matted them with the pink paper, and then over near Wednesday and Sunday, I backed those with two different types of green paper. So that's bringing more of that color, more of that interest to the layout, and I really love that. Just like the digital elements, I am sorting through the physical ephemera pack that is in the shop for the handcrafted collection, and I'm just looking through, figuring out what could I make work, what goes with the colors well, and then what are other items that I'm going to leave to the side to have for later projects. Now for some of these florals, like I just did right now, I actually trimmed them down. So I had the yellow and the pink in one cluster, so I went ahead and just trimmed that off. Same thing with the blue, so that way I can still keep true to my idea of the tone on tone color without having too much interference of other colors around. Now, obviously, there is some different colors in the journal cards. Don't get too hung up on that. Overall, when you're looking at this, you're seeing the rainbow and the gradient of the different colors. As I'm working through my layout and adhering my photos to the page, I am staggering them at different degrees. I don't like to have all of my photos dead center, especially when I have a layout like this where the papers are staggered, the ephemera is really loosely and organically throughout the layout. This is all personal preference. If you would like to put your photos right smack in the middle of the column, feel free to do so. You will get a good feel of what feels right for you. Most of the time, I do like to off center my photos, as it's just, I don't know, I think it looks cute. I think it looks good. So I'm moving on to the puffies now. I tried to use that washi strip color and it just really was not working. I am going to be relying on these puffy stickers from the handcrafted collection to bring that dimension and detail to my layout. Even though this is a memory planning layout, I don't shy too far away from bulk. I just love all of the things, and the puffy stickers are so cute. Now, I do prefer puffies or like an enamel dot over chipboard. I do think that chipboard can get a little aggressive, but I often just pull off part of the back and just add my own adhesive to make the chipboard work in this format of memory planning. Now, I find the puffy stickers flat enough to work with. Now, once again, this is all personal preference of what you like and what's your tolerance of having that bulk in your album, just like many other forms of memory planning. By tucking in various pieces of the embellishments, I'm also able to get that depth that I really like and that just makes the layout look really well-rounded in my opinion. I'm adding a few of the cute little tiny puffies from the Simple Stories Puffy Sticker Kit that was included in the Happy Hearts collection. Super adorable. I just, once again, adding that little added detail and little added depth really just makes me so happy. I really wanted to include these cardstock stickers to bring more of that hot pink, but it just wasn't meant to be. I'm going to add the date here at the top with the date stamp, and I'm going to be adding some sentiments in just a moment here using one of the word stamp sets from January. I'll add the specific name below. And then after that, off camera, I'm going to add my journaling and a few enamel dots here and there. And I'm going to call this layout done. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you have any questions for me or comments, please feel free to leave those down below. I always am overjoyed to hear from you all. Thanks so much, and until next time, I'll see you soon.